February 25th, 1098. Winter still gripped the lands around Antioch, where one of the most desperate moments of the First Crusade was unfolding. For months, Crusader armies from Europe had besieged the great city, hoping to capture this strategic gateway to the Holy Land. But the besiegers had become the besieged. Inside Antioch, Muslim forces held strong behind massive walls. Outside, the Crusaders faced starvation, disease, and constant attacks. To survive, the Crusaders needed control of the nearby crossings over the Orontes River, especially a narrow passage known as the Iron Bridge. Why the bridge mattered? The Iron Bridge was more than a structure of stone and iron. It was the lifeline to supply routes, reinforcements, and communication. Whoever controlled it could decide the fate of the siege. Turkish forces under Ridwan of Aleppo marched to seize the crossing and trap the Crusaders permanently. If they succeeded, the crusade might have ended right there. The Crusader response: despite hunger and exhaustion, a force led by Bohemond of Taranto marched out to intercept the approaching army. Bohemond was a veteran of Norman warfare, cunning, ruthless, and experienced in fighting numerically superior enemies. He knew they could not win a prolonged battle. Speed and surprise were their only advantages. The battlefield. The terrain around the bridge was narrow and treacherous. Hills and riverbanks constrained movement, preventing large cavalry maneuvers. This neutralized the Turkish advantage in mounted archery. Bohemond positioned his troops to force the enemy into a confined approach, where numbers mattered less than discipline. The clash. As Turkish forces advanced, arrows darkened the sky. Crusader shields locked together, absorbing the storm. Then, at the crucial moment, Bohemond ordered a charge. Heavy cavalry surged forward across the narrow ground, smashing into the Turkish lines before they could deploy fully. Infantry followed, pressing the attack relentlessly. Caught in tight terrain and unable to maneuver, the Turkish forces began to falter. Panic spread. What had begun as a confident relief force turned into a desperate retreat. Victory against the odds. The Crusaders secured the Iron Bridge and preserved their fragile hold around Antioch. The victory lifted morale and proved that even in starvation and despair, disciplined forces could achieve decisive results. Without this battle, the Crusaders might never have captured Antioch. Months later, a turning point that kept the First Crusade alive. February 25th, 1098. A frozen river crossing, an army on the brink of collapse, a charge that saved the crusade. Tomorrow, another date, another moment from the ancient world.